Let's skip the build-up. Number 7. Showering 2 times a day. Because if clean is good, then cleaner must be better. There's a modern assumption floating around that if one shower makes you clean, a second one elevates you into a shining, socially upgraded version of yourself. Biology, however, does not agree. Excessive showering, especially when hot water and harsh soaps are involved, removes the skin's natural lipid barrier, the layer responsible for holding in moisture and protecting against bacteria. Once that barrier is compromised, skin becomes dry, itchy, and oddly more vulnerable. It's a bit like scrubbing the paint off a car and then acting surprised when it starts to rust. Dermatologists generally say that most people only need to shower once a day, or even every other day, depending on how they live. If you're exercising, sweating a lot, or voluntarily tumbling down hills, then yes, a second shower makes sense. But for the average desk-bound human, that extra rinse mostly just removes oils your body spent real effort producing. The irony is that too much washing can trap you in a constant need-to-shower loop, as your skin tries to repair itself, only for you to immediately wash that repair straight down the drain.
Number 6. Changing bedsheets only once they start to seem questionable. Many people handle their bedsheets like an ongoing art installation. They don't get washed until they acquire a new shade, a distinct texture, and maybe a functioning ecosystem. But here's the entertaining scientific truth. Humans shed roughly 500 million skin cells every day, and a large portion of those end up exactly where you sleep. Mix in sweat, body oils, dust mites, and the microscopic buffet those mites thrive on, and your bed can quietly transform into a miniature nature documentary. Before anyone panics, you're probably not sleeping in a biohazard zone. That said, experts generally suggest washing sheets once a week, or every 2 weeks if you're not someone who sweats heavily at night. Waiting until sheets visibly look dirty is like waiting for milk to smell like cheese before checking if it's expired. On the flip side, washing bedding too frequently, especially with strong detergents, can wear down fabrics and irritate skin, particularly for sensitive people. The balance point is consistency, not obsession. Clean enough to avoid turning your mattress into a dust mite vacation rental, but not so often that you spend half your existence wrestling fitted sheets, which is already emotionally taxing.
Number 5. Cleaning your ears with cotton swabs. The most widely accepted bad idea. If there were a prize for the most common hygiene habit that makes doctors quietly despair, putting cotton swabs into your ears would win without competition. Millions of people do it, fully convinced that earwax is some sort of personal flaw that must be eliminated immediately, or else civilization will collapse under the weight of embarrassment. But here is the scientific truth. Earwax is meant to exist. Its job is to catch dust, bacteria, and debris. Your ear canal also has its own built-in system that slowly moves old wax outward, like a miniature self-cleaning conveyor belt. When you push a cotton swab inside, you aren't removing wax, you're forcing it farther in, packing it down like someone loading a musket. That can result in blockages, irritation, hearing issues, and even damage to the eardrum if your enthusiasm goes slightly too far. Ear, nose, and throat doctors have been repeating the same line for decades. Nothing smaller than your elbow belongs in your ear. And humanity, as a group, responded with, "Understood, but what if we ignore that indefinitely?" If cleaning is actually needed, a warm cloth or doctor-approved drops are more than enough. No digging equipment necessary. Number 4. The fixation on scrubbing till it hurts. There are people who genuinely believe that if their skin isn't buzzing, burning, or begging for mercy, then it clearly wasn't cleaned well enough, as though skin requires industrial-strength pressure, like blasting a driveway clean while the neighbors cook barbecue. But here's the far less dramatic scientific reality. The outermost layer of your skin, called the stratum corneum, exists for protection. When you exfoliate too often or scrub with excessive force, you can break down that barrier, which results in irritation, dryness, and acne. In other words, the exact outcome most people are trying to avoid. Dermatologists usually advise exfoliating anywhere from once to 3 times per week, depending on your skin type, not twice daily with the intensity of someone sanding down literal wood. And those rough, grainy face scrubs that feel like dragging gravel on your skin? Many of them create microscopic tears that only make things worse. The upside is that mild, gentle cleansing is actually more effective over time. So there's no need to assault your face like you're trying to wipe away criminal evidence. Your skin already goes through enough just by being exposed to daylight.
Number 3. Using deodorant instead of showering. The great fragrance illusion. Deodorant is useful, no argument there. It keeps you from smelling like you just finished a grappling match with a bus engine, and the general public thanks you for that. But an unexpected number of people treat deodorant like a complete hygiene replacement, as though a few passes of scented underarm wizardry can erase bacteria, grime, sweat, and the full backstory of the last 2 days. Here's the scientific twist in the tale. Deodorant doesn't clean anything. All it does is hide odor by neutralizing or covering the smell that forms when bacteria break down sweat. Antiperspirants take it a step further by temporarily blocking sweat glands, but neither option removes the bacteria already comfortably living on your skin. So when someone thinks, no time to shower, deodorant will handle it, what they're really doing is skimming over a mess instead of cleaning it. Showering, even a fast one, physically removes bacteria and dead skin cells. That's real cleanliness, not a nicely scented mirage. Deodorant is an excellent supporting character, but a terrible lead hero. Number 2. Mouthwash used after brushing. The loudly flavored deception. For years, advertisements have suggested that brushing your teeth without immediately blasting them with icy mint is essentially an open invitation for cavities to move in permanently. But here's the reversal in the story. Using certain mouthwashes right after brushing can actually rinse away the fluoride layer you just applied to protect your teeth. It's the dental equivalent of polishing your car and then blasting it with a pressure washer because you want it even cleaner. Dentists commonly advise waiting at least 30 minutes after brushing before using mouthwash, or choosing a fluoride rinse that's specifically formulated to work together with brushing. And let's be real, most people rely on mouthwash instead of flossing, which is basically like spraying cologne on a pile of dirty clothes rather than washing them. Sure, it smells fresher, but the situation hasn't really improved. The ironic reality is that saliva already does a solid job managing bacteria in your mouth on its own. So unless your breath is competing for a biohazard label, you don't need to deploy the minty chemical warfare every single time.
Number 1. The misconception of washing your hair every day. Somehow, over time, people were persuaded that if shampoo doesn't touch their hair daily, reality will unravel. Their social image will disintegrate, and a trio of pigeons will assume their head is available housing. But here's the reversal. For years, dermatologists have explained that shampooing every single day frequently causes more damage than benefit. Your scalp creates its own oils. Those oils are not the bad guys. They're moisturizers your body produces at no cost. Removing them every 24 hours can send your scalp into overdrive, forcing it to release even more oil to make up for the loss, effectively converting your hair into an oil refinery. This is why many people who quit daily washing eventually experience healthier, more regulated hair once the transition phase passes. Yes, the beginning can feel uncomfortable, but science shows your scalp just needs time to understand it's no longer being looted on a daily basis. And unless you reside in extreme heat, earn a living underground, or grapple greasy food for sport, you can usually skip a day or even a few without the fabric of society unraveling. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit the like button, share it with someone who still believes cotton swabs are ear vacuums, and subscribe to the channel for more explanations from Commentary Sheep. Until next time, stay clean, stay sane, and stop attacking your skin.